December is soon coming to a close. With that comes January. Today, we'll be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of January. If you're not into reselling, that is okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hype sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save some money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way, you're always 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you, such as the recent shock drops and exclusive access we have seen. And for early information before these drops actually occur, make sure to follow Endurance. Kicking it off with January 1st for $240, the Foamposite 1 Dream a World will be dropping. Like most recent Foamposites, I'd have to say personal only. In fact, you should be able to find these for below retail in the secondary market or on sale if you do want a personal. However, this shoe is actually pretty interesting. It features a quote from the Roman philosopher and Stoic Seneca. Success happens when preparation meets opportunity. This summer, I actually was reading some of his letters to Nero, so definitely a really cool concept, but unfortunately, still bricks. Now, we have a ton of drops this month, and unfortunately, we're probably going to take some L's. Consequently, I've been looking for healthy ways to take out my frustration, and I think I found the solution. Introducing Raid Shadow Legends. It's available on both mobile and PCs. I mean, just look at the weapons you could use after taking L's on some Travis Scotts. There's tons of awesome bosses to take on, which, personally, I like to pretend are Timmy's. You could head to the dungeons and face off against deadly bosses, conquer its awesome campaign, and, well, you get the picture. And in fact, Raid has prepared something special for all new players this Christmas. Get ready to celebrate the 12 days of Raid. Download Raid Shadow Legends from the link below and copy your player ID from in-game, and then go to 12daysofraid.plarium.com. Enter your player ID and then set out on a fun, festive adventure that lasts 12 days, running until January 10th. Each day, experience a new chapter of this wintry story and play a new minigame for a chance to win some amazing in-game and real-life prizes, including holiday-themed Raid champions and even Amazon gift cards worth up to $1,000. For existing Raid players, head to 12daysofraid.plarium.com where you could find a special holiday promo code that everyone could use for a small festive gift. And this month, they've released a legendary champion based off MMA and pro wrestling legend Ronda Rousey. You can get Ronda for free right now by logging into Raid and playing for 7 days between now and February 28th. Use a special promo code RAIDRONDA to get a bunch of helpful stuff perfect for leveling her up. But there's more. New players. Use my link or scan the QR code right here and get a free starter pack with this cool in-game loot. You will find your rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. Then, potentially as early as the 2nd for foot sites, but more likely on the 3rd for other websites, we should be seeing the Dunk Low Reverse Brazil drop for $110. There does appear to be some decent demand on these, hence I would expect large sizes to be profitable with a decent margin and even other sizes to still hold up for lunch money with a poor to subpar margin. Also, potentially on the 2nd for $120, we may see the Dunk High Psychic Purple in black drop. I say potentially since only the Finish Line and JD Calendar have them loaded, so they might get pushed back a little bit. Despite many Dunk Highs bricking, I do believe large sizes do have some potential for lunch money with a poor to subpar margin. Considering how the white pair of these performed, I'd expect these to perform worse, but still potential for some lunch money, at least on the larger sizes. Moving on to the 4th for $120, the Dunk Low Mars Stone will be dropping. Unfortunately, pre-sale is already around retail for these, so I'd have to say personal only. Then, on the 5th for $120, the Dunk Low Tartan Plaid will be dropping. I would expect large size to be profitable with a decent margin, but I also think the very small sizes might have solid potential for profitability as well, particularly because I could see high demand deriving from these from girls, considering they match the typical pajama pants. All it really takes is one viral TikTok, but that's of course a bold prediction. We'll see about that. Also, the US date for these might be delayed a bit, so I'll keep you updated. On the same day, the Air Force One version of these should be dropping for $120 as well, but I'd expect those to just be personals. Moving on to the 7th for $150, the Grade School Jordan 4 Messy Room will be dropping. Pre-sale is already close to retail when the prior retailers already dropped back in November. These are mostly personals, aside from size 7, which has potential for brick profit with a poor margin if you have no tax in your state, but that's about it. Also on the 7th for $200, the Jordan 7 Black Olive will be dropping. Unfortunately, pre-sale is already below retail in some sizes, so I'd have to say personal only for these, and if you do want a personal, you could probably eventually grab these on sale. Also on the 7th for $200, the Jordan 9 Olive Concord will be dropping. While presale is high, demand is still very low. So, like most recent Jordan 9s, I'd have to say personal only for these. Then jumping to the 14th for $125, the Pawn Shop SB Dunk High may be dropping if they're not delayed. While this is a collab and an SB, I wouldn't expect this colorway to do too well, but I'd still expect at least lunch money with a decent to subpar margin on the large sizes. Also on the 14th for $180 in men and $140 in grade school, the Jordan 1 True Blue will be dropping. Recently, a lot of non-classic colorways of Jordan 1s haven't been doing too well, especially without the traditional black swoosh. These might be an exception considering blue tends to have higher demand and white and gray are rather universal colorways, but even in that best case scenario, I'd still only expect lunch money with a poor to subpar margin in large sizes and the smaller ones being personal only. We'll see, of course. I'll keep you guys updated closer to the drop, so make sure to subscribe and enable post notifications for that and other updates. Also on the 14th for $200, the Jordan 5 Dunk on Mars will be dropping. Like most recent Jordan 5s, I'd expect these to just be personals unless you do have good local buyers. Then on the 15th for $120, the Dunk Low Sesame will be dropping. While some sizes are already close to retail, I do believe large sizes have potential for lunch money with a poor margin if you have no tax in your state, but not much more than that. Moving on to the 19th though, we have yet another restock of the Panda Dunks. The men, women, and grade school Dunk Lows will all be profitable with a good margin in all sizes still. Despite the tons of stock that have already released through the countless restocks, there still is sufficient demand for all of these. As for the Dunk High Black and White, these are personal only on the other hand. Then on the 21st, potentially for $130, the Jordan 1 Low Year of the Rabbit will be dropping. I do think that these have solid potential for profitability, at least lunch money in large sizes with a subpar to decent margin considering they look so similar to the Travis Scott Reverse Mochas, but we'll see as we do approach the drop. Then on the 24th for $150, the Jordan 7 Barely Grape in grade school sizes will be dropping. Personal only for these, like most Jordan 7s, especially grade school 7s. You might even be able to grab these on sale. Moving on to the 26th for $200, the Jordan 2 Craft may potentially be dropping. Like most recent Jordan 2s, I'd expect these to just be personals unless you have good local buyers. An exception might be the upcoming Jordan 2 Chicagos though. I'll most likely make a whole video regarding those before the drop day, which is very soon. Then on the 27th for $150, the Union AJKO 1 Low will be dropping. We have seen some Union collabs such as the Cortez Brick in the past. However, I do believe that these will have sufficient demand for at least lunch money with a subpar to poor margin in large size, but nothing too great. Also on the 27th for $150, the Jordan 3 Dunk on Mars in grade school sizes will be dropping. I'm not sure what's happening with the men's size for these at the moment, but as for these grade school, I think sizes 6 to 7 might have potential for lunch money with a poor margin if you have no tax, but not much more than that, mostly just personals. Then on the 28th for $225, the Jordan 2 Low Responsibility will be dropping. I already don't expect great demand for these since there are Jordan 2 Lows, but that high retail really ruins any chance of profitability, so I'd have to say personal only for these, and you might even be able to grab them for below retail in the secondary market. And lastly for January, but with no precise date, the new Adidas 350 in gray with no Yeezy branding should be dropping. I made a full video describing my thoughts on how these unbranded Yeezys will be performing, but in a nutshell, I don't think it will be a notable difference, perhaps a 5% decrease in demand from a niche portion of the market, but nonetheless, I would have expected these to mostly be personals anyway, with potential for lunch money with a poor to subpar margin in the large sizes, nothing too great either way. Anyway, that's all as of right now, but as usual, more should pop up throughout the remainder of the month, so make sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you're 100% updated on all hyped releases. As usual, January is typically the worst month of the year, but we will get through it. Also, feel free to check out the other links in the description below for reliable, fast residential proxies from Kit Proxies, or feel free to join eDeals for only $14.99. Feel free to follow Endurance's Twitter for updates on restocks or key giveaways, and the same goes for Gargantua if you want to keep up with the progress or restocks. Last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for You so you guys stay updated on our urgent info like I was going over today. With that though, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all releases this month.